would you like to have 800 new customers in the next 90 days? How many of us are like, John, I'd just like to have like 800 new customers like in my life, right? She did this in the last 90 days. I'm not talking leads. I'm talking customers, people that set up an account, they bought some products. Anyway, she's one of the best sellers, promoters, marketers that I've met, and she has an incredible story. So I want you to get inspired. I want you to get excited, and don't get discouraged. Some of you, you get upset because you're like, I can't do what she's doing. I don't have a story like that. I can't market like that. I'm not as good as her. Guess what? She had to learn. She had to develop skills. In the beginning, you'll do a lot more learning than earning. At some point, you want to remove the L. Some of what Jennie Jo is doing is not like a simple duplicatable system, okay? And let me put it to you like this. If you're brand new, you're just getting started, I want you to see what she's doing as an idea or a concept for the future, because you're not going to immediately be able to duplicate this. But for those of you that have been around a while, do you feel stuck? Or maybe you're struggling with lead flow. The only time someone gets discouraged because they don't have leads or they're not converting the leads. Jennie Jo is good at doing both. Jennie Jo, how long have you been leveraging Facebook now?
A little over 2 years.
So this isn't like some, oh, I got lucky with one viral video. Like, she's been very consistent in her results, and the numbers speak for themselves. So I'm excited. Jennie Jo, first, can you just tell everyone a little bit about your story, your current circumstance, so they get to know you a little bit, and then we'll get into the good stuff.
My name is Jennie Jo. I am a full-time single mama to 3 little ones, all under the age of 8. We are each other's shadows, and I'm able to do everything that I do with them by my side, which is pretty incredible. I started over from nothing. I left a very toxic relationship. My back was up against the wall. I was not a social media person. I'm actually an introvert. I don't like humans normally. So the thought of being on social media terrified me. I'm just like, I'm not that girl. I can't do it. I have kids to take care of, but because of the situation I was in, I needed a way to find income without leaving my children. And if you're watching this, then you already know social media and network marketing is exactly that. And it can completely change your life if you let it. And so I started out with 68 Facebook friends. I was the girl that would post 30 to 50 of the same photos of my kids. You know those people, right? And so I didn't know what I was doing at all. So when it came to really starting from scratch, that was me. I had to learn everything. Thankfully, I had John and the systems he has in place, that our company has in place. And I had a desire to make something big with my life for my children. And now, like John said, I'm one of the top people, which still doesn't sit with me. It hasn't registered quite yet. I purchased a brand new car, purchased a brand new house. And it's all from leveraging social media in a really fun and authentic way, which I'm really excited to share with you guys, because whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you have all these different platforms and it's still free. Like, I don't understand why these platforms haven't realized like they could leverage us really, really greatly. But while it's free, like, we need to take advantage of it and get our content in front of as many humans as possible. And you can't get that with anything other than, in my humble opinion, short form videos. And that's my jam.
The key to success is connecting with people that, like you, that relate to you. And I think Jennie Jo will tell you that a lot of the people she communicates with are people that love her story, her authenticity, her transparency. They're moms just like her. And she just started to do this on a consistent basis. And like she said, leveraging short form video, and specifically, correct me if I'm wrong, Facebook Reels is your number one platform, correct?
100%, yeah.
Can you talk about that? Can you talk about what that's done for your business? Kind of like your philosophy with creating content for Reels, how often you post stuff like that. I think that'll be really valuable for people.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, when I started with the short form videos, Facebook Reels didn't even launch yet. So I tiptoed into the TikTok pool, and I did really great over there until I lost my account.
Yeah.
And I've always had the type of personality where when I get kicked down, I curl up in the fetal position. I'm like, poor me. And I stayed down for a while. And it's just always been that way with me. But this time I was like, you know what? We're just going to pivot. Like, you don't get to win. I'm just going to pivot. And thankfully the timing was perfect, because right when I lost my TikTok account, that's when Facebook Reels started coming out. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's try this then. And I just started repurposing my old TikToks that I had saved. Thankfully, I saved some of them, and it blew up. Reel after reel blew up. And I went from, I think I had around 1,000 followers on Facebook when I started. Now I have about 300,000. Wow. Again, all from Facebook Reels. And I stay super, super consistent with it. I'll still do my Facebook posts because those are very important as well.
You don't just do Reels also. Like, you do a lot of static posts. Like, you mix it up really well.
Yeah. And that's going to take time for anyone to find like that perfect little groove and the mixture for what works best for you, your platform, and your audience too. Because what works for me and the timing and everything is not going to necessarily work for everyone, because my target audience is very specific. And if you don't have a very specific audience that you're trying to reach, your content, chances are, is going to be a jumbled mess, and you're going to have different types of people, and it's just not going to benefit you. So you want to be super intentional with what you're posting, but you can't do that until you have your target audience hammered down. And mine is mamas. Single moms, like if you make a list, moms, single moms, moms that have no one, moms that are like starting over from scratch, that have a similar background as myself. So like everything that I post is going to hit a pain point with one of those groups of moms, if that makes sense. Love so that. You definitely want to make sure that you do that, so then you can be really intentional with the type of content you're putting out there, so you reach your humans.
Talk to people like you. Like, people are always all up in their head, like, who's my target audience? Who's my avatar? It's like people just like you. Those are the easiest people. Like, when I first got started network marketing, guess who I recruited? 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds, just like me, broke losers like me. That's who I recruited. And then when I got into the mortgage industry, a few years later, when I got back into network marketing, guess who I recruited? People in real estate, other mortgage bankers, people that were about my age. So start with people that are just like you. Don't try to target who Jennie Jo targets, because if you're not like Jennie Jo, then that wouldn't make sense. Now, posting Reels, posting, on your wall, your stories, like I see how consistent you are with that. But like, how do you do it as far as content creation? Are you doing more storytelling, more product promo? Like, what's that kind of 1-2 punch for you, that ratio?
It's a mixture, and I'm actually in the process of testing out a new strategy. So it's and that's something you should always be doing. Like, if something you're doing is not working, or you want it to work better, mess around with it. Mine wasn't broken, so I don't know why I tried to fix it. I just tried to excel when I didn't need to. But it's a little bit of both. So I will do a reel to really reach my audience, whether it's something that's funny. I love humor. Yeah. I will laugh all day long. So I want somebody to follow me that has a good sense of humor too. So I'll do something that's really funny, or something that kind of pulls at their heartstrings, and share part of my personal story that's more on like the serious side. And then after that is when I'll drop one of my awesome little dancing videos, and that's product related, or do the same thing with the business. So then the people that are really reacting and interacting with the post I just did, in turn, Facebook's going to be like, oh, well, these people really love Jennie. Like, let's show them this one. They're going to love this one too. And then people come to you. They're in my comment section. They're blowing up my spam folder in Messenger. They're like, okay, so I followed you because of this video, and then I saw this one, and then I saw this one, and then I stalked your Facebook, and oh my gosh, your story is amazing. And it has this really great ripple effect when you're intentional with what you're posting and have some kind of really good system in place for that. It's like a domino effect.
We always say funny equals money, so I agree wholeheartedly. You want to attract people that have a similar sense of humor, for sure. That's always a great idea. And then telling stories. And with your storytelling, was that hard at first? Was it natural, or did you kind of like test that out and then it blew up and you were like, wow, maybe I should do this more often?
It was really hard at first because like I said, I was an introvert. I was not a social media person. I didn't want to put my face out there. I didn't want to put myself out there because people, let's be honest, people can be really mean. Every single day when I woke up or anytime throughout my day when I was like, I don't want to do this, I had 3 kids to look at that reminded me, okay, well, mommy, like we need you. So that kicked my excuses right out the door. I followed a couple creators on TikTok that were really great at storytelling. And it had nothing to do with my story. It wasn't even remotely similar. But the way that they were doing their content, it pulled me in. And it takes a lot to capture my attention for longer than 2 seconds. So I'm just like, well, if they can do that to me, I wonder if I can do that to somebody else using my story instead. And so I tried it, and I had a couple reels right on Facebook, 25 million, 13 million, 10 million, 5 million.
Wow.
Consistently, reel after reel after reel after reel, which it gets aggressive, but it's so much fun. It is so much fun, and it's so simple to do once you hammer down on your target audience, be intentional with the kind of content you're posting. Like it all kind of goes hand in hand once you have it all together.
And then how do you convert those new followers into leads and customers? What does that look like?
By doing the regular old-fashioned Facebook posts. But after this, if you go to my Facebook and look at my last couple posts, they all have over 200 comments on them. And it's either about the business or about the products. And it's because when you have people engaging on a reel, just like with any other platform, what do those platforms do? They start pushing your other stuff to those same people. And so it helps build that like no trust factor, which is very, very important. It's just, they see that and they're like, whoa, I didn't know that she lost 125 pounds. I didn't know that she solely works from home. Like, wait, what is this? Like, they already like me. They're already starting to get to know me. And then from there, we jump into Messenger, and I'm a video or a voice clip person. I will send voice clips until I'm blue in the face. I think it just makes that extra connection. And when somebody on the receiving end gets that, they're like, oh, wow, I can see clearly how busy this girl is by looking at her Facebook. I know that she's a single mom, and she's taking 5 minutes out of her day to send me a personalized message. It's not copy and paste. It's not robotic. Like, holy cow, this girl is something special. Boom.
How proactive are you in reaching out to people? Or are you mostly at this point just responding to the spam folder, right? Because a lot of people message you and it goes to the spam folder. You have to keep checking that. For those of you that don't know, there's a section in your messenger, and it's other folder, message requests. Like, they're always changing it. But the bottom line is you'll find messages there. You're like, why didn't this come to my inbox? But also know that means that you probably send messages to people that they never get as well. So don't get discouraged by that. It just is what it is. But how proactive are you in that regard? Do you reach out to people, or do you just respond to people?
Honestly, I was running on autopilot for a good year where I did not reach out to a single human. I just responded to comments on my reels and responded to the comments on my posts. And that was really it. I would have a few conversations here and there, but I got to the point where once we moved into the house I bought, I could breathe. And I let that continue. Like, I just kind of took a break. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I made it. I can't believe, like, we're here. Like, I'll keep posting, but I'm just going to sit back and see what happens. And it was great. Like, I was still hitting Platinum Black 3 month after month from that. But then it started to die down a little bit. I'm like, whoa, no, like, I can't have that. So I jumped right back in and changed a few things around. So now I make sure I respond to every single comment. I respond to every single message. I check my spam request folder like a psycho. And then I also make sure that in the comments, I tell them specifically, I need you to check your spam folder. My message is waiting there. Most people don't understand that that's even there. I had a girl just message me last week, and she just found my message from over a year ago. She's like, oh my gosh, I just saw your reel pop up. I went to message you, and you messaged me. I'm so sorry. I'm like, it's totally fine. Don't worry about it. But unless you're telling them specifically, and this comes down to being intentional with what you're responding to in the comments, whether it's a reel or a Facebook post, You
Right.
have to give people direction. You have to tell them what to do. And I'm not sure how many of you are aware of this, but with Facebook, you have a little link that will directly go straight to your messenger. So if somebody clicks it, the conversation with you pops up. So you have to be careful because of Facebook jail, but you can also intentionally but strategically drop that in some comments. Be like, hey, I did message you. I know you haven't seen it yet. Go ahead and tap here and it will open it up for you.
And then are you doing anything with like lead capture? Do you do project broadcast or anything like that? Or are you just...
Yeah, my project broadcast is aggressive.
Nice.
I know there's different platforms out there, but project broadcast has been my go-to thing for probably 3-4 years now. Anytime I have a reel, anytime I am on my stories, I always throw my number on there, get as many humans as possible off of Facebook into project broadcast for a couple different reasons. One, social media can disappear at any point in time. We've already seen it happen multiple times. And if all of your eggs are in one little basket and then you lose the basket, what are you going to do?
If somebody said, okay, I want to start doing what you're doing, but I'm okay with, starting from the bottom, starting from scratch, being a little clueless, because by the way, that's how we all get started. What would you recommend to that person?
First, make your entire Facebook set to public. Number one, that's a step that a lot of people forget.
Good tip.
And if you have things that you've previously posted that you don't want public, just take them down or set to only you, because the only way that you are going to really, really grow on Facebook is having a public account. So doing that and then just starting. If you already have some content that you've previously recorded or you've previously posted, start posting that. My rule of thumb is 1 to 2 a day.
Love
depending. Like if you're really wanting to master that craft, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, and respond to every single comment, even if it's just like a little heart emoji, a smiley face, whatever it is, because the more you do that, the more it's going to boost whatever it is that you posted.
Do you do a reel 1 to 2 times a day, or you're just saying a post 1 to 2 times? A reel 1 to 2 times a day. Okay, good.
If you're starting from scratch, yeah. And then this is something that I wish somebody would have told me, but Facebook Reels was too new and not everyone even had it when I started. But if you have a reel take off and go viral, do not stop being consistent. Don't get caught up in that one reel, because if you do that, then you're going to lose that momentum. And if you're trying to push a boulder up the hill and you slow down or you stop, it's going to be way harder to get going again. So you keep going.